This is Kruti Jai Pancholi, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. So friends, this video is about fiber optic communication. So till now, you learn about the various concepts related to the optical fiber communication, like we studied the structure of the fiber, waveguiding in the fiber, various optical sources, the power launching, degradation, photodetectors. So these all are the topics which we have discussed since the last video. Now, in this video, we will discuss regarding the few more interesting concepts related to the optical receiver operation. So, optical receiver operation and the various receiver operations and the preamplifier types, that are the point for the discussion for this video. So, now receiver operation. We can have the very simple block diagram of understanding the receiver operation. You can see over here the optical signal, photodiode. Now the optical signal which can be applied to the photodiode, and the photodiode, the voltage supply that can be also connected. Now the optical signal which will be converted into the electrical form, and it is given to the preamplifier. And it is given to the amplifier. Now the gain of the amplifier, that has to be adjusted. So it is the automatic gain control, and the output which is given to the filter, and the filter output that is given to the decision circuit, okay, which can be also connected with the clock recovery, and we have obtained the final output. So here the front end, linear channel, and the data recovery. These three are the basic blocks in the any kind of the digital optical receiver block diagram. So various components that we have seen over here, the vertical dashed lines are that, okay, that are the group receiver components into the three particular sections that we have seen over here. So in an optical receiver system which converts the optical energy into the electrical signal, amplify the signal and process it. The important block of the optical receivers are, so that are the photodetector, which is at the front end, amplifier, linear channel, and the signal processing circuitry, that can be the data recovery circuit. So these three particular parts are there. So amplifier and the gain control circuit, that makes the peak amplitude of the voltage at a constant. Filter circuits reduces the noise output from the amplifier. Decision circuit converts the analog signal into two-level binary signal. Noise generated in the receiver must be controlled precisely as it decides the lowest signal level that can be detected and the processed. Noise and the average error probability are an important factor for the performance. Now the various preamplifiers are there. So preamplifier types are. So preamplifiers are a front-end amplifiers, and this can be found out from these stages, that are the bandwidth, BER, noise, and the sensitivity. Commonly used preamplifiers are three types mainly. One is the low impedance preamplifier, another is the high impedance preamplifier, and the last one, that is the trans impedance preamplifier. So low impedance amplifier, preamplifier, which is denoted by the LZ. So in this, the photodiode which operates in a low impedance amplifier bias or a load resistor RB is used to match the amplifier impedance. So RB along with the input capacitance of the amplifier, which decides the bandwidth of the amplifier. So here we can see that the simple low impedance pre-amplifier design. So in the first diagram, the detector and the bias we can see, and it is connected with what? The voltage amplifier. Okay. So this is about the simple low impedance pre-amplifier design. The equation for the total load resistance, it is the RTL is equal to RB into RA upon RB plus RA. So low impedance pre-amplifier can operate over a wide bandwidth, but that have a poor receiver sensitivity, and that are used in the spectral short distance application, where high sensitivity, that is not the major concern. Second is the high impedance pre-amplifier, which is denoted by the HZ. So here you can see the high impedance pre-amplifier, the design, which consists of the photodiode with the bias resistor, and the second, that is the amplifier and its input parameter, and the last one, that is the equalizer. So this is the pre-amplifier design for the high impedance. So this configuration that consists of high input impedance amplifier together with a large detector bias resistor RA, in order to reduce the effect of the thermal noise. Okay. So in a high impedance pre-amplifier, the goal that is to reduce all sources of the noise to the absolute minimum, and this can be achieved by reducing the input capacitance through the section of the low capacitance and the high frequency devices. Now selecting detectors with the low dark current minimize the thermal noise of the biasing resistor using the high impedance amplifier with a large RB. For example, a Doppler resistor of a field effect transistor. So the high impedance procedure, large input RC time constant, the front end bandwidth, which is less than the signal bandwidth. So thus the input signal is integrated and equalization technique that must be compensated. Okay, equalized to compensate it. Now the high impedance FET pre-amplifier. So here the high impedance is there provided and with the FET. Okay, so this is the high impedance pre-amplifier design using the field effect transistor. So for the gigabit per second data rate, the lowest noise receiver, they are made using the GaAs MOSFET, which is a metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor pre-amplifier. Okay, so at the low frequency, silicon MOSFETs, that are the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor or a JFET are used. Okay, and now the equations for all this, that are the basic noise source in the circuit, the thermal noise associated with the FET channel conductors, and the thermal noise from the load or the feedback resistors. So the short noise due to the gate leakage current, fourth source, that is a FET 1 by F noise. This 1 by F noise was not included in the above analysis because it contributes to the overall noise only at the low bit rate. Okay, so as the amplifier input resistance is very high, the input current noise spectral density S1, that is denoted by the 4 kVt upon Ra plus 2Q, okay, and I gate. So this is the equation using the FET. So FET is a very large input resistance Ra, usually greater than the 106 ohm. For the practical purpose, Re is equal to infinite. So this equation can be rewrite as the SLFET, which is nearly equal to 2Qi into K, where I gate, that is the channel noise factor. Now the thermal noise of the conducting channel resistance, that is characterized by the transconductance Gm, and the voltage noise spectral density, that is Se, is equal to 4kTB, okay, and upon the Gm, where tau is the channel noise factor. So this tau, that is a numerical that accounts for the normal thermal noise, and the gate included noise pulse, the correlation between the two noise. So the thermal noise characteristics equations, the sigma is very useful figure of merit for a receiver as it measures. So it is the W is equal to 1 upon Q square B S1 plus 4 kTB upon RB plus SE upon R square into I2 plus 2 pi C whole square upon Q square SEI3 into B. So now substituting this the S1 and the SV, the equalizer output we will get, that's a W is equal to 1 upon Q square B 2Q I gate plus 4 kBT upon RB plus 4 kB T, okay, upon the Gm into RB square into I2 plus 2 pi C upon Q whole square into 4 kBT, okay, into the Gm into I3B, where C, that is the total capacitance, it is the C is equal to the CD, okay, plus the C particular for the gate source capacitance plus the C gate drain capacitance, okay, and CA, okay. So this is the total capacitance value. The 1 by F noise corner frequency FC, that is defined as the frequency at which the 1 by F noise, which dominates the FET noise at the low frequency and has 1 by F power spectrum, which becomes the equal frequency channel noise described by the tau, okay. So now to minimize the noise in a high impedance design, the bias resistor that should be very large. So this effect of this detector output signal is integrated by the amplifier input resistors. So now this diagram, okay, that you can see over here, that is equivalent circuit to minimize the noise. Here you can see that this equalizer which can be attached to minimize the noise. So it is compensated by differentiation in the equalizing filter. And this integration differentiation approach is known as the high impedance amplifier designing technique. And this circuit shows a simple bipolar grounded amplifier, emitter transistor amplifier. And the input Rin of a bipolar transistor, which can be given as the Rin is equal to the Kb into T upon the QIBB, where IBB, that is the base bias current. Okay, so here you can see the diagram using the BJT amplifier. Okay, the high impedance and the BJT amplifier, then the equalizer. So now this is the combiner circuit that is for improving. So the amplifier input resistance RA is given by the parallel combination of the resistor R1 and the R2 and the transistor input resistance Rin. For the low noise margin, this R1 plus R2 that can be much more greater than the Rin, and Ra that is nearly equal to Rin. So the spectral density, which can be expressed as ampere per hertz, ampere square per hertz of the input noise current source, which results from the short noise of the base current, and which can be given by this St is equal to the 2Q into IBB, and Q is equal to the K0T, okay, KBT upon the Rm into IBB. So therefore the Si, that is equal to 2 KBT upon the Rm. So the transconductance Gm which is related to the short noise, and it is given by the Gm is equal to QIC upon KB into I, where KB is equal to R in Q into IBB upon T. So therefore, putting this value in the equation, it is equal to the Gm is equal to the beta upon the Rm, where beta is equal to IC upon IBB. The spectral height of the noise voltage, which is the V square upon Hz, it is equal to SE is equal to 2 kBT upon Gm, where kB is the Boltzmann constant. So thermal noise characteristics equation for the receiver amplifier. The performance of the receiver is expressed by the thermal noise characteristics known as the W. And this W is equal to 1 upon Q square B in bracket ST plus 4 kBT upon RB plus SE upon R square into I2 plus 2 pi C whole square upon Q square SE I3 into B. So the substituting this R in S1 SE in the characteristics equations, we can have the equation that is W is equal to 1 upon Q square B in bracket 2 kBT upon R in, okay, plus 4 kBT upon RB plus 2 kBT upon Gm into R square into I2 plus 2 pi C whole square upon Q square in bracket 2 kBT upon Gm into I3 into B. So that is equal to 2 kBT upon Q square B in bracket 1 upon R in plus 2 upon RB plus 1 upon Gm into R square. So into I2 plus 2 pi C whole square upon Q square into I3B upon Gm. So where therefore the B is equal to 1 by TB and Gm is equal to beta upon R in, when TB that is the bit period. So substituting this B and the Gm in the W, we can get the final equations. It is W is equal to TB upon Q square 2 kBT in bracket 1 upon R in plus 2 upon RB plus Rm upon beta R square in bracket I2 plus 2 pi C whole square TB into Q square Rm upon beta into I3, where RB that is greater than the RA and R0 that is equal to RA dash. So W is equal to 2 kBT upon Q square, okay, into T beta upon Rm beta plus 1 upon beta I2 plus 2 pi C whole square upon beta TB into Rm into I3. So this is about the high impedance preamplifier. Now the last category of the preamplifiers, that is the transimpedance preamplifier. Now the transimpedance preamplifier, that is nothing but the low noise high impedance amplifier with a negative feedback RF resistor, and the device before operates as the current mode amplifier. So here you can see the diagram of the equivalent circuit of the transimpedance receiver design. Okay, so this is the transimpedance preamplifier design, and which overcomes the drawbacks of the high impedance amplifier, such as for the broadband operations equalization that is required. It has the limited dynamic range, okay, and the thermal noise characteristics, okay, at the equalizer output can be found out by replacing the RB by the RB dash. So this RB dash that is equal to RB into RF upon RB plus RF, okay, and due to RB dash the thermal noise characteristics equations that becomes the W, okay, WTZ is equal to TB upon Q square in bracket the ST plus 4 kBT upon RB dash plus SE upon R dash square into I2 plus 2 pi C whole square upon Q square TB into SE into I3, where 1 upon R dash is equal to 1 upon R plus 1 upon RF. This is equal to 1 upon Ra plus 1 upon Rb plus 1 upon Rf. So in practice the Rf that is much more greater than the Ra. Okay. So the WTZ, okay, that is equal to the WTH plus TB4, okay, KB into T into I2 upon Q square into Rf, where the WTZ, okay, that is what? It's a high impedance amplifier noise characteristics, okay. So the thermal noise characteristics are the sum of the output noise of a non-feedback amplifier plus the thermal noise associated with the feedback resistance. So transfer function of the non-feedback amplifier, which is given by the HF, is equal to AR upon 1 plus J 2 pi R into C into F. So where A is the frequency independent gain of the amplifier, where R is equal to RA/RB upon RA plus RB and C is equal to CA plus CT. So the bandwidth of the non-feedback amplifier B is equal to 1 upon 4 RC. So now it is about the conductance, okay, the preamplifier. Now the advantage of the trans impedance amplifier, that are the wide dynamic range, little or no equalization that is required, less susceptible to pick up noise, crosstalk, EMI. It is very easily controllable and stable, less sensitivity, and the output resistance that is very small. So these all are the advantage of the trans impedance. Okay. So thank you very much everyone.